Welcome back. Let us look at the solution for test you're learning 2. Okay, so we have our dictionary given to us. We need to ask the user to enter the upper and the lower limits. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we need to ask for the limits. Okay, so I will say lower is input, enter the lower limit, enter lower limit. Okay, and we're going to say float lower is float lower. Okay, and of course we will say upper is input, enter upper limit, and of course we will need to make that become a float. Upper is float upper. Alright, great. So we have our upper and lower limits in the right data type. So now what do we need to do? Let's put this down here. We need to now iterate over the dictionary to get students who fit the criteria. Okay, so we've done that before in the previous test you're learning, so let's do that now. So for key value in grades, I now need to check to see if the GPA is within this limit. So if value is greater than or equal to the lower limit, right, and that value is less than or equal to the upper limit, then I know it meets the criteria, and so I'll add it to my list, which I have not created. So let's create our list. Let's say what's a good name that would describe what this list is for? Let's say search list. Okay. Our results list seems a bit better. So results list. So if the GPA meets our criteria, then we'll add that to the results list. So results list that append. So do you append the key or should we append the value? Well, we should append the key. Okay. And so if I print results list, let's see what we have so far. Okay, so let's enter the example we have, 2.5. Let's enter 3.85 and let's see what we get. Oh, we're missing something. Alright, so it's telling me on line 30. So I have key, I have value, but I forgot to include items. Okay, so that's a common error that tends to happen. Alright, so just remember, if you're looking for key and value, you need to say that items. Okay, so 2.5 3.85. Alright, so do we get Marla 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Does that match our sample? Yes, it does. So we are on the right track. Okay, so what do we do? Well, we now need to format our output. Okay, so we will say, so let's format our output. Okay, so if the length of our list, alright, is greater than 0, right, we know that there is at least one name in there. Then we want to print a space, and then we want to print the words results. Okay, and then we want to print that separator. Alright, and then we want to iterate over our list. So for name in results list, I want to print that name. Okay, so let's check to see if it works before we continue. Okay, remember, we're always writing code and testing code. That's how we do development. We don't write everything and then test. We do a piece at a time. Alright, great. It gives us what we want when we have names in the list. So what happens if there are no names in the list? Well, we will say else. Let's print the space, and let's print sorry, there are no students matching your criteria. Okay, so let's check to make sure it still works. 2.5, 3.85. Alright, so let me alter my dictionary by putting everything below 2.5. So 1.5, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75. Okay, and we leave these as is. So if I click play, 2.5, 3.85, then we get mark. Oh, okay, yeah. I should have made this sound like 2. Let's try again. 2.5, 3.85. Alright, so we get sorry, there are no students matching your criteria, and I probably should put a full stop. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this Test Your Learning 2 solution. Keep in mind that this is only a possible solution. You could solve this in other ways. You could use different strings to ask the user for inputs. You could ask the user for different inputs. Okay? Alright, so we leave this here for this solution video, and this brings us to the end of this unit on Python data structures. So in the next unit, which is functions, we will learn how to take our code and package them into useful components. Okay, so I will see you in the next unit where we'll start looking at that. Great.